Hi guys, Captain TigerLily here, and it is the final crochet video. This is me 3 days as of right now post market, and I'm just gonna say it went really well. I didn't really get a chance to take a lot of video while we were there. It kept raining like almost the whole day, which honestly was the better option of the two choices that we could have had. It kept things relatively cool for the majority of the day. It got really sticky just because it got so humid, but I'll take the sticky and not so hot versus it being still sticky and really, really hot. So I'll take the win. But I've got my notebook and I'm gonna kind of go through a little bit of what sold the best, what did not sell very well, what didn't sell at all, which that's a thing. That is a thing that happened, but anyway, first of all, we're gonna hop over to the little video here, and you can see I had this lovely little one table setup, which is great. I really like how it turned out. I think that particular setup was great. I also loved that I did the little plate for the eggies, which, oh my god, the eggies were like the favorite. So let's dive in to my sales numbers and we will talk about all the fun things that happened. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the things that sold the absolute best and what I actually sold out of, even if I didn't have very many of them. Just because I feel like it's kind of important for me to remember, like, hey, this sold really, really well. This did not sell well at all. So my absolute best seller was the eggies. I'm not kidding. I sold all 12 of them. All 12 of them. And I sold them for $3 a piece just because I was like, I don't want to do them too much more because they're kind of small anyway. And it's a very, very much a novelty item, but I sold all 12. So I'm not going to complain about that. The other two things that I sold everything of was I sold both the cinema rolls. And those both sold, let me look at my notes here. I wrote it all down. Those both sold for 12, and I sold both of the bun cats and they were in the $5 bin. Just because they weren't very big. They didn't take me very long to make them. So I figured I'll just throw them in the $5 bin. It's totally fine. Next thing that actually sold almost as well as the eggies was the bunnies. I sold 11 bunnies. Like, that's crazy. I sold 11 bunnies for $5 each, and that's, for me, phenomenal. I love that. I sold 9 dinosaurs. 3 of them were the little T-Rexes, but I did sell 9 dinosaurs. Those 3 T-Rexes were for 5 each, but the bigger ones were for 10, so I had a decent amount there. I sold 8 of the mini stingrays for $5 a piece as well. And it seems that me having a lot of smaller items versus a lot of bigger items was really, really good. I also sold 6 chickens. 2 of them, I believe, were big chickens. Let me look. Hold on. Yeah, 2 were big chickens and the rest were little chickens. So not bad still. I will take the win. Now to get into the thing, actually, there's one other thing. The bees. I sold 7 bees. They were all the, mini bees. I did not sell any big bees at all, which I was actually kind of surprised because I had not just a big bee, I had a fluffy bee out the entire time. And I swapped which one was out there halfway through the day and I didn't sell a single big bee. They were all little bees. So that was surprising. The only other thing would be the ducks. I sold 5 ducks, which we love that. I don't think I took the ducks with me last year. If I did, I didn't have very many with me. And I made 3 while I was there. I made 3 more yellow ones while I was there. Just because the ones that I had in the basket sold immediately. And I was like, well, we can't have that. I have to have a yellow rubber ducky. So I made a yellow duck and put it in there, and that one sold again. And I made another one, and that one sold like 20 minutes after I finished it. And then I made one more, and then that one didn't sell. So I took that one to the store with me. Now let's talk about what did not sell very well, because I'm sad about it. I only sold 2 mushrooms, and they weren't even the little ones. Okay, I sold one little one, And that was to my friend because he was like, I have to get this for my wife. And I'm like, okay. And he was up there with me the whole time. So I was like, you know what? That's fine. He and I were hanging out. We were having a good time while his wife was working and while Josh was doing his thing, helping with the fair. It was fine. I think Josh got sunburned. He didn't realize it, but it was so cloudy. I don't think you could tell. You could not tell if anybody was sunburned just because it was so cloudy and muggy and everyone was just hot anyway. But regardless, yeah, I only sold 2 mushrooms. I didn't sell the big ones at all. I didn't sell the green one or the purple, blue, green splotchy one. I didn't sell that one either. I sold the one mini one to my friend, and then I sold the 2 medium-sized ones, which were made out of the same yarn I do the baby turtles with. They were both purple. One was like the more like dusty purple, and then the other one was more the vibrant purple. But I sold both of those. One, it was really cute. This mom came up with her little kid, and he couldn't have been more than like a year and a half old at the most, if even. Probably around a year. And he reached for it, and the mom was like, hold on, I will be back in 5 minutes. Can you save him this mushroom? And I was like, absolutely. So I pulled the mushroom back and hid it behind the other ones and put the other mushroom out, because I hadn't sold the other one yet. And she came back with the cash and just goes, he needs this mushroom. And the first thing that he did upon getting the mushroom was put the hand in his mouth. And I was like, I'm so glad I don't put safety eyes on those, because oh god. But I gave her the care cards. I did print those out, and those were actually really, really helpful. So many people really liked getting the care cards for that. I had a couple people get the take the business cards, even if they didn't get anything, just to have it on hand. But yeah, the care cards were a really good idea. And there were a lot of people that were like, oh, I didn't know that like specific yarn had different like care instructions. I'm like, well, yarn on its own doesn't, but like a yarn on its own usually has the instructions on the skein, but like when you make it into something, then it tends to have different care instructions to keep it from getting messed up. So, but yeah, I was surprised I only sold the 2 mushrooms. I only sold 2 of the little octo alien boys, which I wasn't really surprised that those did not sell that well. Just because I was like, whatever. I'll put them out there because I've had them for a while. I'm actually kind of surprised though that I only sold like the 1 or 2 big chickens, really, because it was like, wait a minute, like the little ones sold fine, they were in the tiny bin, but only 2 of the big chickens with the fun colors. What? I was very shocked. So that one was surprising. The most surprising for me, actually, I only sold 2 turtles. 2 baby turtles. That's it. I didn't sell any big ones. I didn't sell any of the regular sized ones. 2 baby turtles, and that was it, which was surprising because last year I think I sold 7 or 8 of them at least. Something or somewhere around there. I sold like 7 or 8 of them last year, but I only sold the 2 this year, and I was like, what the heck? So, and it's not like I had them all that expensive. I had them cheaper than I normally have them in the store, just because usually for market prices, a lot of people will make them a little bit cheaper depending on the market. Now, if you're doing like a Comic-Con kind of thing and you have like an inspired by character kind of thing, some people will actually up the prices for those just because they're gonna get more out of it for it being inspired by a character. But I normally wouldn't be that kind of person, just because I don't care about upping the price to fit like a, I don't know, like a niche or whatever, or to try and make more money off of something like that. I'm going to price them how I think they should be priced to not only stay fair and competitive, but also for me to feel like the customer is getting a good deal on what they're buying from me. Like for me, yes, I still want to make back the amount that I'm going to get like from using the yarn and the polyfill and everything. But I don't really care about like the calculating for my time or the trying to make sure I pay myself like however much an hour. I don't care about that. I do this in my free time anyway. It brings me joy to crochet, so why do I care? You know, like some people obviously are not going to have that mindset. I don't care. But yeah, so that was it was a surprising turnout for me. I did almost double what I did last year. And last year was a very last minute, like, I have 2 weeks to prep. Oh shit. I made a total of, drum roll please, editor me, 426. I was surprised. Honestly, pretty early in the day, I had some really big sales. Like I had some that were like, I had a couple that were $20 to $30 each, and they had like 4 or 5 different things. So like my second sale of the day was one of the bun cats, one of the $5, they were all out of $5 bin, but it was a bun cat, a dino, 2 stingrays, and a baby chicken. Like all 5 of those sold within like the first hour of me being up there. Now I will say, I did spend $6 on food for me, and I gave Josh a 20, and he spent, actually I gave him 2 20s at some point because he wanted to go get 2 different things of food. But so he ended up spending like a total of like 30 on food throughout the day for him, which is fine. I felt kind of nauseous all day anyway, just from the heat. And he was out there running around doing all kinds of stuff, so he needed the food. So I was like, you know what? That's fine. Feed the husband. But yeah, I was really, really quick with a lot of the sales for a while. Like I would have like nobody for like 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'd get like 6 sales in a row. It was wild. But you know what? I feel like it also just comes with like groups of people that are walking around too, which that's totally fine for me. And with my friends sitting next to me doing the ice cream for my in-laws, we had quite a few people come in later in the day for that as well. So, which it was tempting all day having that ice cream there, but I knew it would have been a horrible idea for me because that much sugary stuff out in the heat, already mixing with an upset stomach already. Bad idea. Before we hop on to one other thing I want to talk about, actually there's a couple other things I want to talk about before we end this video, but I want to show you guys what my husband found on the path that was on there. He found this adorable turtle, and he moved it so that it would be out of the way of all the people walking and over into the woods that were behind where all the area for parking was. But look at this little guy. He's so cute. He's so cute. He was very curious, all things considered, looking around. He's like, why am I up in the air? I don't understand. Poor guy. But hopefully he went off and found a quiet little place to hide in throughout the day, away from all of the noise and the people feet. But I have a list of all the different things that I think I want to do for next year. Now, obviously the ones that I'm going to be doing again next year, I'm going to do the dinosaurs again next year. Those were pretty good. I'm definitely doing the eggs again next year. I'll probably do about 2 dozen of the Yoki kind. And I have a couple of ideas that were from Josh and from his cousin. And they suggested that I do like actual eggs. Like not just the Yoki part, but like the egg shell. And, Josh also said it would be kind of fun to have some that are like cracked open or opened up and you see the yolk inside them. So I'm going to have to play around with that. I have a dino egg pattern that is supposed to have the dino in it. So I'm wondering if I could use a thinner yarn with that and then put the Yokis in it and it all be one thing. Maybe. I also wonder if I could do like tiny chickens and have those in some of the eggs. Could be. Depends on how big the actual eggshells turn out once I start working on them. But yeah. I thought that was really, really good. I think they sold really, really well. So I'm definitely going to make at least 2 dozen just Yokis for next year. Those sold really, really good and really quickly. Like those sold with like before I even hit the halfway mark in the day. Like it was wild. I'm definitely going to be making more bun cats because both of those sold within the first hour. Those were really, really cute, and the 2 different people that got them thought they were adorable. So I'm definitely gonna make some more bun cats. I'll probably make at least 6 or 7 for next year, maybe more. It'll just depend on what I end up doing. I am gonna make more of the mini bees for next year. Those sold pretty well. Clearly the big items are not that much of a seller. However, having some of the big items on the table was a really good draw for people to come in. So I think having the bigger items on the table is still going to be a thing. I'll probably do, like, what I did this year was I had the big mushroom on one side, and then I had a big bee and a big turtle in the front, and then I had a couple of the medium-sized turtles in the place of where the egg bin was once I sold out of the eggs. So, and having the bigger ones out in the front like that really drew a lot of attention. So even if I don't sell them, it was a good draw to catch people's attention, be like, oh, those are cute, I want to see what else she has, that kind of thing. I'm definitely going to be doing more bunnies and more ducks because those were really popular. A lot of people really liked those, and especially in my area, just because there is a lot of, like, it's very rural. So there's a lot of people who like the very, like, farm aesthetic kind of things, which totally fine. I think that's a great aesthetic to have. I think it's fantastic. It's not my personal aesthetic, but, like, I do like it. It's not my personal favorite, but I do think it's a fantastic aesthetic. But so yeah, there's that. I actually had quite a few people ask about axolotls. So I have a couple different axolotl patterns. I have one of them that I don't like making just because I don't like the amount of sewing that goes into it. So there's a creator that I absolutely adore watching her videos because I think she's fantastic. Her channel on YouTube is called Crochet by Jenna. I will link it down in the description because she's amazing. And if for some insane reason she actually watches this, shout out to Crochet by Jenna for having amazing patterns. I've actually done a couple of hers as stuff for market stuff before. So her no-sew axolotl pattern I think is going to be the one that I'm going to try out, and I'm going to do a video with that one. I have a whole video planned out of me just making a bunch of tiny crocheted sea animals, so that's going to be pretty good. I actually had quite a few people also asking about dragons, so I need to find a better dragon pattern because I've made a couple different patterns and I like them, but it's a lot of work. And by the time I get done, I sit there and go, I don't know that this was worth it for the amount of work that I put into it because they turn out pretty small. So I have a couple other patterns that I haven't tried yet that are dragons that I think I have, or that are, like, on my list to try. So I'll have to look into those. The other one that I want to do is I actually want to have more, like, character inspired ones. So more of the cinnamon rolls, and I want to have the baby Groots, and which I'm gonna have to find a new brown to make with those since Premiere no longer makes that brown anymore. I don't know if I can get the equivalent in Parfait Chunky, but the problem with Parfait Chunky is it works up thicker than the Velvet did, so that's a bit of a problem. Anyway, I do want to also try, actually, does it work up thicker? You know what? I'll test it. And since I did the Parfait Chunky for all the little mushroom guys, I will try out with the, I have the almond color of the Premiere Retro Velvet left over. I have almost a whole skein of that. So I'll make a couple mushrooms with that. And I have some dark green of the Premiere Retro Velvet and some red. So I'll make a couple with each of those and see if they work up about the same size. If they do, fantastic. And I can just make the baby Groots in that color. However, I think it might still be slightly thicker, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. It'd just be a slightly bigger baby Groot, but we'll see. I also do want to do some of the Pokemon. Like, obviously, Mewtwo's been up here in videos for ages over here with Lucky and Gideon, who's about to fall over again. I swear, Gideon and Chuckles, we have Chuckles in the living room. I swear Gideon and Chuckles are both haunted. Chuckles is worse, but I swear they're haunted. Chuckles makes sense. He's the creepy clown. But why is Gideon haunted? He just falls over. Like, I won't have touched him. Nothing will have moved, and he'll just slump. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? that has nothing to do with crochet, but made me think of it. The other thing is, I want to try out the possums, which I may have a way to try out the possums now because our Dollar General has the Premier Just Chenille yarn, which is about the same size as the Bernat Velvet. I think it's a little thicker, but I went and got a few different colors. I got some white, which, hold on, I will show you here. I got some of the white here of the Just Chenille, which, yes, it is $1.25. If you can find some at your local Dollar Tree and you're looking for some really thin chenille yarn to work with, it might actually work up about the same size as the velvet. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't used it yet. But I got that, and I got, let me get it out if I can reach it. I got this gray color, which is gorgeous. I like it. And just because I thought it was really, really pretty, I got this gorgeous purple, which is called Iris. And anybody who knows me knows I love purple irises like my mom did. I can't help it. They're pretty flowers, okay? But yeah, so for the purple ones, with that, I actually have a seahorse pattern that I want to try out with it, which should turn out pretty small. So I'm hoping that'll turn out really good. And the gray and white is for me to try out the possums. So I have some pink that I think will work for it, with it being that size. And if I really have to, I can use some of the leftover pink from making Chomper. It is a little bit darker pink than I would normally use for a possum, but it could look really cute. They didn't have any pastel pink when I was up there in that color. The only pink that they had up there at the time, it looked like there was a spot for it. It just was either out of stock or just completely sold out or whatever. But they had like a hot pink, and I was like, nah, I'm not about this like hot Barbie magenta pink thing for a possum like that. Nope. So yeah, I did not get any of that pink. They had a few other colors up there. They had kind of a medley one, which is they're like, you have a solid color, but then you've got like flecks of either white or lighter color of that in it, all along the strand, which they had a blue, a brown, and what other color they had? They had one other medley color, I can't remember. At mine anyway. They also had black, red, yellow. They had like a peach, like a really pastel peach color. And what was the other one they had? They had one more that was a solid color that I didn't get. What the heck was it? I can't remember now. I really don't remember. But anyway, I didn't get any of those, but it is nice to know that I have them there. So like if I need a quick fill in color and I don't want to drive 30 minutes to the nearest craft store or an hour and a half to the Michaels, I can literally drive 5 minutes and go to the Dollar General. So, another thing that you may or may not see at some point in this video, if you do see it, it'll pop up here, after I finish saying this, but I am going to be putting together my shelves to make my yarn wall in the office. So if I got to it before I have to edit this video, you guys will see, at the very least, even if you don't see me putting up the shelves, you'll see me putting the stuff on the shelves and organizing my yarn. So that'll be here if it happened. Hey guys, so I talked about this a little bit earlier in the video, but this lovely mess over here needs to move because I need to put up the bookshelves. So I'm going to document as much of this as I can, and then once I get the bookshelves actually built, I have to wait till Josh gets home, but I only have like an hour and a half as of right now before he gets home. So I'm going to put together as much as I can. I have to move all this out of the way, and fingers crossed that I can get all of them done. And he wants to, we talked about it where we're going to actually either nail them together or screw them together. I don't know how we're going to do it, but to make all 3 bookshelves one solid unit. So we're going to see how this goes. Alrighty, this is my space to work with. I'm gonna sweep up real quick, but I'm gonna angle the camera down so you guys can see me maybe putting things together. I don't know. I've never done this before. We're gonna find out. I need to get plug covers for that too. I have some in the kitchen, so I'll just go get them, but oh boy. Okay, so as you can see, as you might be able to see, I've got this in, and I have the top ones pretty much even spaced, but I left the bottom one with a bigger space so I can use that for storing like the boxes and stuff. That way I don't have to completely get rid of everything, but that is one done. I gotta go switch to water because my juice is not cutting it. Okay, let's see if the boxes fit. Huh? What'd you say? Get the fuck out of here.
Your camera's still on.
Yes!
Can't put that in the video.
Editor me, cut that shit out.
Editor her. She won't cut that shit out.
Editor me forgot. No. Well, those two were labeled correctly, so.
Why is there just a deflated turtle head?
It's not finished yet.
Poor deflated turtle
I
head.
didn't get a chance to finish them yet. We're not going to talk about the paper. Shh. Okay, listen. This is the yarn I was telling you I was going to use for that dinosaur. And I can't find it anymore because they don't make this color. They only make this color. But I need both. I don't think this is enough. And I'm sad. Alrighty, well, I think I have most of it up where I want it to go. I still have things to sort out, but it's fine. But yeah, I've realized I have a lot of blanket yarn. I have 2 full shelves. Oh boy. But you'll be fine. So, overall, this was a pretty successful market, and I really, really enjoyed this. I'm glad it wasn't as hot as last year, because last year was fucking miserable. I'm not even gonna try to pretend that it wasn't. It was fucking miserable. It was so hot, and considering that the year before I only made like 200 and something, it really did not feel worth it for me. Like, I was miserable. But this year was a lot better, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I am currently now working on using up some of my burlap velvet and making some tiny mushrooms with that. The other girl that I work with at the store, she thinks that they'll sell pretty well at the store with the other mushrooms up there. So I took a bunch of plushies up there for her and got them all sorted out in their spots, which would be dinosaurs, ducks, some leftover ladybugs, which I actually didn't sell a single frickin' ladybug. I was surprised. I didn't sell a single ladybug. I don't know why. I didn't sell a single one. I was shocked because the year before I had sold quite a few. I sold like, I think 5 or 6 the year before. Like, obviously I still only had them for $5, but like, the ladybugs are so freaking cute. I don't understand. And they're not very expensive. And they fit right in your palm. Why would you not want a little ladybug, buddy? You know what? I'm going to start putting a ladybug up here. Oh, speaking of which, this stone statue right here is an axolotl that I got from Josh's cousin. And I absolutely love him. His name is George. He's going to live in the background of videos now. His name is George. We love him. But yeah, I think I've got a pretty good plan for next year. I'm not going to make as many turtles for next year. Pretty much to just be like, whatever I can get done is whatever I can get done, and I'll have some small turtles with me. I'll probably only have like 1 or 2 big turtles, 1 or 2 regular sized turtles, just because I don't think I'm going to need a whole lot more than that. Same with the bees. Like, the mini bees were a great idea. The big bees did not sell at all. Like, at all. So probably not going to worry about that. Again, with the chickens, I'll probably make a bunch of little chickens, and then I'm just not going to worry about big chickens because I have so many left over. But speaking of chickens, and I totally didn't even think about this earlier, but there's another artist that I like. I have to look up the patterns that I've got, but I have some on here that I really, really enjoy, just the idea of them. But I am going to do a video of me crocheting 2 different critters from Stardew Valley. So if you've ever played Stardew Valley, the first one is actually going to be making the Stardew Valley chickens, and that one is from the Celestial Homebody. She's wonderful. She does a lot of markets as well, so she's got a lot of good insight of like what things sell really well for her, what things don't. So I'm going to also link her channel down below as well. And the other one I'm going to make, which is not by Celestial Homebody, I cannot see from the pattern here who it's by right now, just because it doesn't show on the cover sheet for it, but it is the slimes. I'm probably going to do the slimes, and the other one that I want to do, if I can find a pattern for it, is the Junimos, because everybody loves the Junimos. So I'm going to try and see if I can find the Junimo patterns. So we'll see, but I hope. That would be a really cute one to add. If you have any suggestions for characters you guys would like to see me crochet, or just different types of animals you'd like to see me crochet, if I can find the patterns for them, let me know down in the comment section, because I'm totally down to add those to the list. I have a whole list here of different things that I'm going to try in the future at some point. I'm also going to do one of me making some more dinosaurs, which I have a very intricate pattern for a Spinosaurus that I want to try, because that's also my sister's favorite dinosaur. So I'm going to see how it turns out. I will probably, if I do that one as a video, I'll probably make at least 2 or 3 different types just to kind of see. One, I want to see how it works up in different types of yarn. So velvet versus chenille versus like the really thin and thicker yarn, maybe even blanket yarn, but that's going to be a massive Spinosaurus if I do it with blanket yarn. I'm just saying, because the original pattern calls for acrylic. So it's going to be huge. But yeah, I think it'll actually turn out pretty well. But if I do that one as a video, I'll probably do at least 2 or 3 different types of Spinosaurus. But yeah, so that is the end of our little crochet video adventure. Next time you guys see me in a crochet video, it is going to be me doing the hippos video, which I might actually use the purple for the hippos now that I think about it. I'm not sure. I probably will, let's be honest. I've got it here. I'll probably do the purple. I've got a bunch of different velvet colors that I can do for other hippos, so we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be a couple weeks before I have that video out. But in the meantime, we're going to go back to, for the most part, regularly scheduled programming. I also, next week, you guys are going to see the new Dev Cats game, which is A Building Full of Cats 2. As of right now, I haven't recorded it yet, but it's probably going to be 2 to 3 videos worth. If it ends up being more than that, I'd be surprised. But 2 to 3 videos worth probably for A Building Full of Cats 2. And you guys, if you've been around the channel for a while, you know how much I love the Dev Cats. We love the Dev Cats here. Okay. They're phenomenal. But anyway, that's been our little adventure for June. It was quite an experience for me. I've never really kind of documented the process of doing anything like that before, so I actually really enjoyed it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed going on this journey with me, and if you guys liked this video, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see more videos from me in the future, hit the notification bell, that way you guys will know when new videos go live, and share the video around to anybody else you think might enjoy listening to me ramble on about crochet things and watching me crochet more critters in the future. I'm going to leave the full playlist with all of the crochet videos I've done somewhere here on this screen, and links down below to all of the wonderful pattern creators that I shouted out in this video. If you guys want to go check out their channels, and for the majority of them, I believe, Etsy pages. But anyway, that being said, I'm Captain TigerLily, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.